Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good morning, and welcome. It's Nurse Richard, the Wax Wizard. Thanks for joining me. Interesting case this. It was quite amusing at the end as well, so stay tuned. But this was quite a shocking find, this was. I found a few things in people's ears, but this was right up there, one of the, oh, what's that? How's that got there? Category. Now, this was a young lady. I think she was 15, 14, 15. If she's watching, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. I think Mum said she was 15. Came along with Mum and her brother, who's also in this video at the end of it. So hello to both of you if you're watching. I know I might have found a couple of new subscribers. When they came in, they were fascinated with it all. Seemed to really enjoy it. Now this thing, when I touched it, you can already see what I've done, can't you? I've gone in with the fine end tubes. It's quite a small ear, this. And obviously with any children, you try and keep the noise to a minimum. Because the other one can be quite noisy, but as I've touched that, it just felt different, and I couldn't quite put my finger on it. And as I've tried to grab it with a fine end tube there and kind of lift it up a little bit, what it's ended up doing, and this does happen sometimes, it's ended up kind of rolling backwards, and it's actually further down the ear than when it started, which was unfortunate, but. It does happen sometimes as you obviously you touch it, but if it's that hard, it's really hard to get a grip on, so you kind of trying to dab it to lift it upwards, but yeah, it's just rolled further down the ear. And at this point I had some suspicions as to what it might be, because when I first touched it, so it felt different. It felt a bit springy, but certainly very hard, and I thought, just is it a really hard dried keratin plug? But when I saw it like this, I was pretty sure I knew what it was. So I've gone back, I've gone to the full-size tube there, and obviously I need to pull it back down from where I've pushed it. Bit too deep in the ear to get some tools in here. I did try some later on. She was finding it a bit uncomfortable at times because it was just so tightly packed in. She said it kind of it's putting a lot of pressure on the ear canal, this thing, and it was really difficult to get it out. What I'm trying to do, you can see there's just kind of slowly roll it forward, so we've got a good grip there, and you might think that's it, problem solved, it's on its way out. But the issue we're having here is because of the shape of it and because of the quite small narrow ear canal entrance or exit, so I'm trying to get it out, it just won't fit through that gap there. And again, like I said, it's tempted to try a Rosen inserter or a hook, but because she was finding it quite uncomfortable, the last thing I wanted to do was risk any trauma, so I didn't want to go around the side of it and catch the inside of her ear canal and make it uncomfortable for her. So I've tried with a forceps here. Now, there's only so wide that you can get these things open, and it's just about wide enough, but what's tending to happen, it's breaking apart, this thing. I don't know if you figured out what it is, by the way, yet, but I'll give you a spoiler alert. It's a swimming plug. It's a silicone swimming plug. Now this young girl had problems for years and years and years, and she kept getting infection after infection after infection, and mostly in this ear, and found the infections were getting worse, so I used to wear these swimming plugs in the vain attempt to stop getting these infections. But because it's broke off and it's still in there, it's that actually that's causing the infection, because the water's getting trapped in there behind it, and obviously you've got a foreign body in your ear, so it's not supposed to be there. So yeah, it was causing infections. But it was so difficult to get out, and because of the shape. And like I said, you've already seen me try and have a go with a forceps. She couldn't get a grip of it. It's just really hard, and going to risk any tool, I think, is going to risk pushing it down even further again, because obviously that's already happened once, don't want that to happen again. So we're just going to have to persevere with the full-size suction tube is what I'm doing here, and giving it a good shake. And I think what I'm trying to do here, you'll have to listen to the audio on this, it's very funny. I'm trying to get underneath it So I'm giving it a good shake side to side there. And what I'm hoping to do is kind of do a little somersault with it, give it a little flip, because I'm thinking that might do the trick. So I'm trying to grab it from the bottom, pull it up, and you'll see it kind of spin round. And so it now turns into a shape, though it can be pulled out. There you go. So, but just have a listen here. I'm going to be quiet for a few minutes, for a few seconds, sorry, and have a listen. I mean, first of all, what Mum says, and then what I say.
Wow.
Oops.
Got down your...
It dropped down your top.
Yeah, it's hard.
That is definitely a swimming plug.
No, everything looks bigger on there.
That's right. Dropped it. Just dropped it again. There's a few little bits on there, and there's no way I'm entertaining going back in this young lady's ear just for those few little bits that are not going to make a blind bit of difference. Yeah, I dropped it. It landed. This never happened before. It rolled down the neck and went straight down the top. So my mum went in and fished it out, and when you saw it in front of the camera there, that was it was on Mum's hand in front because she caught it, fished it out. And yeah, definitely swimming plug. We had a good old feel of it, and it was definitely silicone swimming plug. So yeah, I don't advise to use them at all. There is some products on the Amazon page if you're wondering what you can use if you're worried about getting water in your ears for swimming. I think the link's in the description. So it's like a lot of products that I advise that are really good for ear care. There's like some cameras on there, and there's also like a home irrigator, which is what I use to make a video. I think it was the last video showing me using it, and some drops, but there's some really good swimming plugs in there. Ideally, you want ones with a handle on the outside, so they don't get stuck in your ear. So you've got something to hold on to pull it out. Now this is a brother. I'd also been having a few issues, and he's got this big dry plug in there. I didn't even attempt that with a suction. Went straight for the hook there, and managed to slowly roll this thing forward. It wasn't too tricky. Now I'm trying not to drop that, so it fell into that part of the ear there. So I just grabbed it with some forceps, lifted it up. And when I was doing this is the second one, I spotted that, you'll hear me saying it in a bit, I spotted that his sister, who I'd done first, was filming it on the screen, because you can watch a procedure in front of you on the screen, and I spotted that she was filming it. And I asked her a question, which you'll hear in a minute. I'll turn the audio up. You'll be able to hear just what I said to her. I think it's just about here.
This is you filming it, aren't you? Do you want me to drop this down his neck like I did with yours?
There we go. Did you? So I asked her, I said, do you want me to drop it down his top as well? Like I did with yours. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. There's the plug there that we pulled out there. Hope you enjoyed that. But for now, take care of yourself. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.